What's up, guys? This is Morgan with Cardfight Onyx Ring Unlimited here, and here's our completed Luard deck list. So, it's been a long time coming, but we finally managed to finish everything, fix everything up, play test it a lot, and this is our build. There are a couple tweaks I'll mention that you can use to make it a little bit different or better depending on what you think is great. So I'll make sure to list those as they come along. But for now, just enjoy it. Let me move these fight counters and character cards, Ren Bay and Luard Bay and everything like that. So starting out is our starter, Commanding Knight Nisa. Nisa's skill is really nice. It's a GB1 Ritual 3. You can rest her and then give 2 units on your field +4s. Easy, reusable. You don't have to search her out like some of the other starters. She's just simple, and that's what makes her great. So then we can move on to our grade 3s. We are, of course, running 4 Dragheart Luard. Luard is the main grade 3 of the deck. His Ritual 3 lets you put 2 normal units to the bottom of your deck during the beginning of your ride phase, and then you can stride for free for the rest of turn. So you can do that, then ride to our other grade 3 to unleash some pretty nasty combos. And then if something strides on him, he can counterblast 1, retire 1 rearguard, and search the deck for 2 grade 1 or less cards, easily fueling many skills in the deck. Next up is our last grade 3. We only run 5 grade 3s in this build. Is Blaster Dark Diablo. A classic unit from back when the first Legend deck came out with the Dark. Blaster Dark Diablo's skill is that when when Phantom Blaster Diablo strides on him, he can retire one of your opponent's rear guards, making it easier to get off the no guard skill. And then when GB2, when you're striding for a Diablo Vanguard, anything you ditch from your hand gets grade +3, so you can stride with a grade 0 or something like that. The 5 grade 3 build is really just so we can fit in more of the good grade 2s and good grade 1s that we need. Also, it just works out pretty good. You don't really need that many more. Sometimes you can get grade stuck. That's a problem with the deck that I'm sure you'll see, but we like it. So our grade 2s start with 2 Skull Witch Nemain. Nemain's easy to use. Her skill is when she's called, counterblast 1. You can discard 1 card and then draw 2 cards. Makes it easy to thin out your hand and thin out your deck to get stuff that is better to use and fuel ritual and whatnot. Next up is the real, money cost of the deck. We run 3 Drag Wizard Morfessa. Morfessa's skills are very good and very useful. However, they don't go off very well, which is why I think it's okay to just run the 3. Her skill is GB1 Ritual 3. When she attacks a Vanguard, she can get +5 +5k power, and if she hits counterblast 1, search your deck for a grade 1 card and call it. So she's good to call out more attackers and more boosters and whatnot, and also she's a good 14k beat stick, but most people don't let her hit. And then in the drop zone, she counts as a grade 1, which fuels ritual, which makes her a very good grade 2. Still overhyped, I think, and much too expensive, but it's okay, because we finally got them. More beaters on the way. We come in with 3 Knight of Brawn Grosny. Grosny's skill is simple but effective. GB1, whenever anything a lower grade than Grosny is called, Grosny gains +3,000 power. Simple. You call a lot of grade 1s in this deck. If he's on the field when you start calling, he will be devastatingly powerful. Your opponent's going to wish they had Denial Griffin or something, or if they do, they'll just be happy that they do. Or, Grand Blue with their Pseudo Denial Griffin, all that sort of stuff. Next, we run 4 Black Chain Flame Dance Formation Hole. He is amazing in this deck. His skill is that whenever a grade 1 is called, if you have a Diablo Vanguard, he gets +3, and your Vanguard gets +3. And if the unit that was called was Paladin, you can Soul Charge 1, Counter Charge 1. He's amazing for keeping resources on the field. You have a lot of Diablo strides, so he's more usable than you would think. And he's a better Grosny if you're on a Diablo Vanguard, which is like if you stride a Diablo, or if you're sitting on Blaster Dark Diablo. Oh, my camera stuff got messed up. I must have moved it by accident. There we go. So, Knight of your Black Chain Flame Dance Formation Hole is very, very good. Going on to grade 1s, we run 1 of the promo, Knight of Red Flash Ferdiad. Ferdiad's Ritual 3 skill is that if he's retired, you can choose a unit and give it plus 5k. Simple, good. You only need one because you can toolbox it back in with Luard if you need more of him. So that's why we don't run any more of that. We run 2 Blackwing Swordbreaker. Her skill is easy to use as well. When she's superior called from deck, Soul Blast 1, draw a card. Simple, really good if you want to get extra hand. Yes, the deck may have a slight soul problem, but you can fix that with Paladin and Howl Owl, so it's not that big of a deal, and you can toolbox her back in if you need to use her more, which is what Luard is for, so you don't need to run any more than 2 of her. 3 Abyssal Owl comes up next. We would run 4, but we had to fit in some Kahedins and stuff like that, so Abyssal Owl is a very good card. When you call him from hand, you check the top 7, search for Luard, and then if you get one, you can discard cards in your hand with grades equaling 3 or greater to keep it. This is really good if you just want to thin out the deck, if you already have a Luard and you find one and you just ditch another Luard. And then it's also good if you're grade stuck, and then you can feed Ritual with it. And his other skill is when he's retired by your Vanguard skill, if your Vanguard is a Luard, you can countercharge 1. So he's also good for making some skills free, which is what we usually use him for. And generally is great. If you need to toolbox him back in, you can. Like I will keep saying that for as long as it remains to be true, and it generally never stops being true. And man, these tables I'm doing this on really don't like me. But you have to give me a moment to fix that. Dang. Okay. Alright. Good. Think we're good there. Okay. Next up we have 3 Black Chain Spirit Dance Formation Kahedin. Kahedin is Hole's counterpart that you heard in Hole's skill earlier. Kahedin's skill is that when he's retired for the cost effect of one of your cards, I believe it's the cost effect. No, when he's retired for the cost of your unit's ability, if you have a Vanguard with Diablo in its name, you give your Vanguard plus 5, and the ability that when your Vanguard's attack hits, it can call out a grade 1 from deck. And then if Hole is on the field, the grade 1 it calls out from deck gets plus 5 as well. So Kahedin's really good for just boosting up your Spectral or something like that, or anything that's coming in. And he's a nice little thing. He's actually mostly in there to get Hole's countercharging skill off, but other than that, he's good for distributing power as well. So he's definitely not useless. And next for our grade 3s, and I believe these are the last of our actually offensive grade 3s, is 3 Night Sky Eagle. Very simple. When he's called from anywhere, GB1, he gets plus 4k. So it's just a free 11k attacker, easy to use, oftentimes can, be the difference in having nice, strong columns or not, and you can call them out from deck easily just to get that free 11k attacker. Our 4 perfect guards are Dragsaver Ezris, of course. Karma Collector is great for her countercharge, but Ezris is great for the fact that you can put an Ezris, if you have 2 Ezrises in your drop zone, you can put one on bottom of deck, get one to your hand simply by retiring a unit off your field. So she's free PG, it's so easy to use, and I love her because you don't understand how many times you can PG with this PG in your deck. She saves you so often. So if you remember to retire and get your free PG, which I've seen people not, so I don't even want to talk about that. And then, of course, next up we have our trigger lineup. We are running 2 Mage of the Rogue Eye Arcer. Arcer's GB1 is very simple and very effective. He counts as 2 units if you're retiring for the cost of your unit's ability, and then when he's retired for your ability, he can shuffle himself back into the deck. I believe, yeah, so it is only for cost, and then when he's put in the rear guard circle for the cost of your unit's ability, he shuffles himself back in. Recycling stand trigger, always good. You can take him out if you want and run the Cray Elemental critical trigger, which is also a good card. But I like Arcer. He makes a couple combos easier to pull off without wasting too many cards out of your deck. Next, we run 4 Howl Owl for obvious reasons. We need fuel in this deck. In soul plus 3 to something keeps your soul working when you don't have holes out on the field. Also, the draw triggers are nice to continue generating the massive hand that Luard can generate sometimes. So 4 Howl Owl is, at the current moment, quite important. we run 6 crits that have no ability. They're just 6 crits. They're all triple rare because we like the shiny and Cardfight Onyx Ring Unlimited. So, 6 critical triggers. You can make it 8 if you take out Arcer and run the Elemental crits, or you can make it 8 just by running more crits, but, I like something with some utility, so that's why we're running the stands currently. And 4 heal, of course. So that's that. Let me move this out of the way, and we can get into our G-Zone promptly. So, yeah, main deck's good. There's some things you can switch out to tech in more stuff, like you can take out Ferdiad to put in another Owl. You can take out Swordbreaker if you don't think she's useful. I would disagree with you, but I'm not saying it's impossible. You can take out Nemains to add in Morfessa and Grosny. It's up to you. I think Morfessa and Grosny are great, but I also think Nemain helps you generate some of that deck thinning ability that is oh so important. So to start off our G-Zone, we have 2 Black Dragon, Carnivore Dragon. Excellent first stride, really good Trial Deck stride, simple ability. Retire 1 of your own rear guards, then your opponent must retire 2. If they can't retire 2, your front row gets plus 4,000 power. And that doesn't mean if they only have 1, they don't have to retire. They have to retire as many as they can. So he's excellent just for deck thinning and unflipping for other skills. And, wait, not deck thinning, my bad. Field control and retiring for other skills and whatnot. So he's great. 1 Sea Breeze, self-explanatory. You can take it out if you want to run more of other stuff, but I like to be safe and run Sea Breeze. 2 Dark Dragon, Spectral Blaster Diablo. Spectral Blaster Diablo's skill is Soul Blast 1, retire 1 of your rear guards, and unflip a G unit, and then he gains a GB3 after he attacks. You can retire 2 of your rear guards, and then he will restand and get drive -2. So, simple, restand, pressure, absolutely a very important card. And if you have a heart card with Diablo and its name after you use the Soul Blast ability, you can call a grade 1 card to rearguard circle if you have a Diablo heart. So he's pretty good in all cases and can be quite the pressuring card. Next up we have 4 Dark Dragon Phantom Blaster Diablos. Phantom Blaster's skill is simple and great. Counterblast 1, choose a face down copy of himself and flip it face up, and then you gain +10 and +1 critical, and then he gets, when he attacks, you can retire 3 of your own rear guards. Your opponent must retire 2, or they cannot call cards from hand to guard circle. They can still G-guard, they can still use Gurgwit to guard from deck, but he's amazing because he has the crit, he has the guard restrict, he makes things very hard for your opponent if they don't have enough rear guards to sack. And you can also make it easier for that by using your Diablo skill. Next up we run 3 Drag Driver Luard. Luard's skills are good, but we don't think they're great enough to run a 4th, so we run 3. His skill is a Ritual 3, Soul Blast 1, and flip up any G unit, and then you can call the same number of grade 1s from deck as face-up Drag Driver Luards in your G-Zone to rearguard circle, and then they get +1,000 for every grade 1 in your drop zone. You can use Luard to call out something for your grade 3 Luard to sack and call out more, so you can get an easy field out of that. But we generally don't use him very often, and he's only for that situation where our field's been depleted and we need more. Other than that, he can call out some really good stuff, like you can call out Eagles with him and make them incredibly powerful, but most of the time you don't end up actually having to use him very often. So 3 is optimal, and you could run 2 if you want to run more of something else, but 3 is the best build in our opinion. Other than that, going on to G Guardians, we have Dark Dragon, Plotmaker Dragon at 3. He's so simple and so useful. Ritual 3 gains +10 shield. It's a free 36k guard, which is super effective and really great for just guarding big numbers easily. So 3 of him help out a lot. And then we run 1 Dismal, because there are things you want to protect on your field, like Grosny's, Morfessa's, or something like that, or you're fighting a deck that has like Guard Break or something, So the one Dismal is pretty good. You can take it out for another plot maker if you want. You can take it out for, you know, Agleam or something that'll feel ritual if you want. But he has saved me a couple times in the past, so he's, you know, he's a good thing to just have in there just in case. I like him. You might not. You know, you can always take him out and put in a different G guard or something like that. So that's that. Okay, so now that that's done, there will be a test fight or test match with this build, trying to show you a little bit of what it can do. It works very well most of the time. So if you like this video, please leave us a like, share it with your friends. It helps us a lot. We're just starting out, and you know, we're only a couple months into our life here as YouTubers, you know, like 7 months in. We're getting going, but we still need some help from you guys. So I thank you all so very much for the support. Hope you like this deck list. Hope it helps you out a lot. If you want to take out stuff to help you save money, that's always an option. There are some ways where you can just put in more of the Eagle as a cheaper card with an attacker, or you can run Serial Blade Dearmond for your grade 3 backups. You know, it's all pretty good. I think Luard's just going to get better with set 10. We're all hyped for Draganger Ogma, who's actually very good. Some people just don't really understand how good it is to have some hand control in your deck. And, you know, so we'll be making an update when we finish updating the deck after set 10 comes out in Fighters Collection 2017. And we're all hyped for all of that that's coming out. So thanks so very much for watching, you guys. Hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.